Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm getting my coffee chat started a little late, which tends to be a pattern on Mondays, I've noticed. All right, guys, I hope you had an awesome weekend. I've got a coffee chat discussion this morning that I'm going to share with you. I found that other than you guys submitting topics and questions for the coffee chats, another thing that works really well is for me to just kind of share my experiences and exactly what I'm going through at the moment. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about, and this is something that occurred to me last night in the shower, about how I have to hit the reset button sometimes on Mondays after a weekend of just like getting into really unhealthy eating patterns and habits and all that stuff. Weekends are always a challenge for me. They always have been. And I get asked a lot of questions about diet and exercise and what works for me. And I'm just going to first say that I am not an expert in this area. I know what works for me, what works for my body type. So something you may be able to glean a few tips from this, but it may not work for you too. But I am going to share with you what I do after a weekend like I had just had. And I'm going to tell you about this past weekend because it was a lot of fun. Food is fun, right? So we had some fall family fun. So, Friday night, Craig and I went out and we had a date night. And we went out for Greek food to our little local Greek restaurant, which is amazing. So I decided I wanted dessert that night. So we had both the ekmek and the baklava cheesecake. Then on Saturday, we had an awesome day Saturday. So if you follow me on my personal Instagram, which is Alison Lumbatis, you probably saw the picture I posted with my sister, brother-in-law, Craig, Ava, and my niece, Lauren, and my great niece, Vivi. We have a little great niece, and she's the most precious thing in the world. And we took her to see our horses and goats this weekend, and she had a blast. She's a total animal lover, and she's about 1.5 years old. So she's a lot of fun. But one of the things that we've been doing with my niece ever since she was in middle school is we bake apple dumplings together every fall. This is like one of our traditions, and some years we've missed it as she's gotten older, and she has her own family now. And I was feeling really nostalgic and kind of sad after they left Saturday night. I got a little bit teary-eyed because I just realized, I guess the older you get, the more you start to realize how fast time goes, and those precious moments with your family all together are like further and farther between. So I appreciate them even that much more now than I used to. So anyway, we ate apple dumplings and we ordered pizzas and just kind of had a lot of fun hanging out at the house and having some delicious food that night. And then yesterday we had horse shows all day. So we were up at the crack of dawn. I had breakfast at McDonald's. My lunch was a walking taco, which was basically a bowl of taco meat with chips and cheese. Awesomely healthy. I had several trips to the baked goods table. So I had pumpkin spice muffin and some cookies. And then we got home really late last night. It was like we left, actually it wasn't really, really late. We left at like 7:30 yesterday morning and got home between 8:30 and 9 last night. And I had not bought groceries this weekend. I didn't do any of the things that I normally do on the weekend to get ready for the week ahead. So I had to buy, so we ordered Chinese food for dinner last night, and we're eating a Chinese around 9:30 and then went to bed. So I woke up this morning just feeling kind of bloated and just not feeling on my A game whatsoever. So that's my time when I realized that I have to hit the reset button today and get back on track and start those healthy habits again that I try to maintain throughout the week. So just let me first say that a lot of times I get comments on my blog or on different things about like outfits that I wear and things like that. And people will say, well, I'm not lucky enough to be naturally thin like you are. First off, I'm not naturally thin. Everyone in my family has a propensity to gain weight. And this is something that I have had to really keep in check for most of my life. At one point, I've been up 40 pounds from where I'm at right now. Even after post-pregnancy, like 2-3 years postpartum, I've still been up 20 to 25 pounds from where I am right now. So this has definitely been a roller coaster, throughout my 20s and 30s. Like in my early 20s, it was pretty easy to maintain. I did gain definitely my freshman 15 when I went to college. So again, this is something that has been kind of like a lifelong thing that I know that I have to have something in check. Otherwise, things can get out of control. So when I do have a weekend like last weekend, then that's kind of like, again, a warning sign. I always watch for the warning signs. This was something I talked to you guys about before. And watching for those warning signs really helps me to say, okay, this is a place where I need to make some changes and I need to get back on track. So that's what I'm doing today. And I'm going to share with you some tips that I do that help me just to kind of keep on track with all of this healthy eating and exercising and what works for me, and maybe some of the stuff will work for you too. So, all right. So I have a little list here I'm going to go through. The first thing is that, and I discussed this before, you can decide at any moment that it's time to make a change. Like, you don't have to say, I know the temptation, and especially sometimes even Craig and I say this, like, oh, well, it's cold out, or it's wintertime, or, you know, we'll do better in the spring, or we'll do better when the weather gets nicer. And what that does, it's like a dangerous slippery slope whenever you do that, because you're missing the opportunity to say, like, the power is in the present moment. We can make the changes right now. We don't have to wait. So just know that if you have that mentality and you're saying, I'll start my diet tomorrow, or I'll start eating healthier tomorrow, or I'll start exercising in 2 weeks, or whenever, that the power is always right now. Like, you can make the decision right now that you're going to, you know, your next decision is going to support something healthy in your life. For instance, this morning I had my 2 cups of coffee and then I switched to water, because I know that this is one of my signals. And again, this is repeat information, but I've told you before that I drink a lot of water whenever I'm trying to get myself back on track. It just makes me feel good. I feel dehydrated. I barely drank any water at all this weekend, which is completely embarrassing, but it's so true. And I can tell a big difference in myself whenever I don't do that. So just know that you can make the decision right now that you're going to support your healthy lifestyle today, and just stick with that. It doesn't have to be at a future. It doesn't have to be a future event. Okay, so the next thing is that you don't need fancy smoothie recipes or Vitamix. I'm not a proponent for gagging down smoothies. I mean, I've had some good ones in my life, but you can get all the nutrition you need from eating good food throughout the day. You don't have to go that route or think that it's got to be complicated or that you need to do those things. Occasionally I have a smoothie because I enjoy it, but I don't feel like it needs to be a part of my day. I'm able to incorporate fruits and veggies and all the stuff, the nutrients that my body needs throughout my meals throughout the day. So know that it doesn't require anything fancy or sophisticated. The next thing is just to keep the right food in your house. And I think this is my biggest challenge right now. We ate Chinese food last night because we had no food in the house. I didn't get groceries this weekend. I normally get groceries every Saturday morning, but we were busy this weekend and I did not get that taken care of. So you're going to eat whatever's available. And if there's nothing available, then you're going to go for something convenient, right? So that's why we ordered the Chinese food last night, because it was convenient. And on the other side of that is get the junk out of your house. So I have to do a pantry purge and a fridge purge today and get rid of some of the junk food that's still hanging around from the weekend. This morning, discarded the leftover pizzas. There are no leftover apple dumplings. Craig and I polished those off last night because after the Chinese food, we thought it would be a good idea just to top it all off with the apple dumplings too. So I don't have to get rid of those, but yeah, just, you know, do the pantry purge. If that stuff tempts you, then just get it out of your house, out of sight, out of mind, and it's not going to be available for you. Okay, the next thing is plan easy meals at home so you're not tempted to eat out. I think that this is one of the hardest things that I struggle with, is sitting down and getting really intentional about what our meal planning is going to be for the week ahead and trying to balance that out. I'm going to do a whole coffee chat sometime about what I eat in a day whenever I am on track, and I think that that'll help you because you'll see that everything that I eat is stuff that you can get in the store. Again, nothing special, nothing fancy. And it incorporates lots of lean proteins and vegetables. And actually, I don't eat a lot of fruit, which is probably not a good thing, but I try to get my fiber in other ways. I just personally am not a huge fan of fruit, but whole grains, sweet potatoes, roasted broccoli is one of my all-time favorite foods. And when I'm really in the zone, I try to do meal prepping on Sundays. So if you follow me on Instagram, _get your pretty on, on IGTV, I have a video in there of a sheet pan meal that I like to make on Sundays and split up into individual serving sizes, and then I eat that for lunch. Hi, Sky, I know you want to go outside. You'll be okay. Anyway, so if you watch that video, you'll see the process. Sheet pan suppers are so simple. Look them up online. You just put all of your veggies and your protein on there, mix in some herbs and spices for flavor, and roast it in the oven, and then just separate it out into containers. Craig and I eat those a lot of times for lunch through the week because it's easy. We just grab them out of the fridge and you're going to eat what's available. So make what's available something healthy. Big pots of chili are also an awesome idea. You can make healthy chili. Use lean ground beef. Use ground turkey. Beans are really good for you. Rinse your beans. Buy low sodium beans. Put in lots of great seasonings, and chili can be a really good healthy option for you. You can even put some pumpkin puree in your chili. You're not going to taste it necessarily, but it's going to add in some extra vitamins and good stuff in there too. So look for some good chili recipes. If you do eat out, research your meals in advance. I do this. One of my best tools, and whenever I'm trying to get back on track, I have my Fitness Pal on my phone, and I'm able to look up most of the things that I eat in restaurants in advance of going there. Like we go to Panera a lot, and I'm able to look and see, you know, what the best options are there and plug those in. Sometimes I actually plan my meals out in advance and put them into my Fitness Pal for the day, so that I know exactly what I'm going to be eating and what it is going to equate to as far as nutrients and calories and all of that good stuff is concerned. So, you know, that's another great tool, is definitely plan your meals out in advance and see what you're going to be putting into your body for the day. The next step, obviously, is that activity is just as important as what you're eating. You need to be really aware of what you're burning off because ultimately you can go low carb, you can do you know, keto, you can do all of these different diets, but when it comes right down to it, it's simple math, calories in versus calories out. And if you're taking in more calories than you're burning, then you're going to gain weight. And I'm sure there will be some people out there that will argue that. Again, I am not a fitness expert. I am not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. But I do know simple math, and that's what works for me. So whenever I count calories and I eat whole foods, then I know that I am on the right track. So activity is such an important part of this. Find something that you can do consistently, and it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to go out and run 5 miles. Maybe today it's that you walk for 10 minutes. Or that you do jumping jacks in your living room, or you jump up and down on a small trampoline, or you do something that works for you. Maybe you do yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. There are so many different options, but moving is such an important part of this. And I speak often of my affinity, or actually my love-hate relationship with Orange Theory. I do actually love it. I do. I go there and I never leave regretting a workout. I have never regretted a workout in my entire life. I promise you, you will never regret a workout either. The thing that I like about Orange Theory is accountability is built in. You have to schedule your classes in advance, and if you don't cancel them within 12 hours, you lose your class. So that keeps me accountable to showing up, and I make it an appointment as serious as anything else, a doctor's appointment or anything. I look at it like this is preventative medicine, and this is important for me, for my sanity. You know, a lot of times I'm stressed out. I have a lot on my plate, and I think, oh, the last thing I need to do is leave for an hour and go to Orange Theory. But whenever I go there, I just get clarity and peace of mind, and it's as much about the mental benefits as it is the physical benefits. So definitely find something that you love and can do, and if you're feeling up to it, give Orange Theory a try. It works for all levels of fitness. I walked in there 2.5 years ago, out of shape. Had never run more than the required 1.5 miles that I had to do in high school in my entire life. And I don't even think I ever ran that full 1.5 miles. I like would have keeled over if I had to do that. I hated that thing. It's like, okay, you've been inactive all winter. Let's go out and run 1.5 miles for the, I think it was like the presidential fitness test or something. But yeah, it challenges me in so many different ways, and I just love everything about it. So anyway, I want you to commit to doing just one thing today. If you've had a weekend where you went completely off the rails like I did, maybe your thing you commit to is drinking lots of water. Maybe it's moving for 10 minutes. Maybe it's cleaning out your pantry or fridge. Maybe it's going grocery shopping and meal planning for the week. I don't know. Maybe you already have this all together and you're on track. And if that's the case, then I am super proud of you. And I hope to be joining you there later today. But yeah, let's check in with each other this week and let me know what you're doing, what's working for you. Share with the community. This is really about us all giving our ideas to each other and finding out what's working for each other, because you know, you might pick up a tip from somebody else, or you might have a tip that you can offer. So anyway, just let me know what's working for you. And I look forward to diving into the topics of healthy eating. I'm going to be sharing some more style stuff with you this week and some more relationship stuff, because last week's went over really, really well. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Bye.